departures must be taken from the deserted settlements and suggested that the places must have been from the earlier Harappan settlements. The next thing, Romila Thapar also commented on it, but he doesn't say anything about the place where from these are. But he commented, it reflects, this act reflects the shamanistic nature of the Vedic people. This much she commented. So, for making pottery, levigated clay is used and parts are handmade. And also, while firing, they were put in an inverted position. The vessels which has to be used in the ritual should be fired in an inverted position. So this is also an important point. So the technique, the inverted method of firing is a very important technique which was affiliated to the basic feature of the black and red ware, but in which there is no mention about the double color of the pottery. They said only till it turns to red, that much they have given. So the firing of that vessels, that is called Ukka and Mahavira. These two are the words written or mentioned in the text. So these are especially associated with the firing in a deep closed pit, and might have been fired in an open pit. In the black and red ware, that parts will be fired in a closed pit. But here it is thrown into the fire and in inverted position and made to red until. So this is a major difference. So we can't say as it is as same as black and red ware. And also the black and red ware usually associated with the name Asura pottery in Vedic. That is also a mukyamana vishayam. And also about this, Haila Canvas is of opinion, in her opinion, the brick making was a Harappan activity. So Romila Thapar opined that this brick making is different from Harappan, but it must be, according to her, it must be a pre-Harappan method. She given this opinion based on the typology or the size and the measurements of these bricks. After this, according to the text, the large number of bricks were used, which essentially need the involvement of the greater number of people. It's told that there's 1,000 bricks or 10,500 bricks, like that. So it needs a manpower of much people. So people who had not used that bricks, that is, in that period, there were no material evidence of they were living in huts and thatched roofed houses with the post holes. That is the culture of that period. So this text, here we can see people who had not used these bricks for the regular use, how can we reconcile this contradiction? That is an important question to be answered. So all the bricks are named, the symbolic in nature. Chattopadhyaya, who in his book he commented, all these constructions, the names of the bricks, everything is purely imaginative. It is the placing of bricks must have been purely imaginative and enacting a performance with large number of bricks with unbelievable and extraordinary names. He is commenting like that. So the text also, while detailing the preparation of pot, it kept silence about the preparation of bricks. That is also an important point. The bricks might have been brought from the earlier settlements of the Indus, like the crushed or the pottery sherds, like that. The bricks also might have been brought from the deserted settlements of the Indus culture, or the descendants of the Harappan people who know the brick-making process would have been made to involve in it. That must be, we can expect like that. So, Ishtaga, that is, the Ishtaga is a word denoting brick. That word also is not of Indo-Aryan origin. It is, it came only in the Yajurveda period. Before that, there is no Ishtaga in that word particularly. And the philologists also, this is probably an Indo-Dravidian word. It is adopted in the Yajurvedic period, that is late Vedic period. So thus, one could easily infer the Indus cultural remains recorded and shadowed in the Rig Veda and this ritual, this basic Vedic ritual. This is my first point. Second one is sacrifice of Aswamedha. The Aswamedha is a ritual. It was a very great ritual in Vedism. So Rig Veda signifies so many things about this Aswamedha festival, that is the fruit of making the Aswamedha festivals. It signifies ultimately truth or reality, symbolizes flow of creative power and bliss, lead to the attainment of the strength and the flow of force and enhancement of one's intellect, and also awakening of wisdom, through which human is enabled into the supreme. And by performing the sacrifice with the proper Vedic procedures, the performer will attain and will get the power of control over the senses. While living in the earth, he enjoys enough material pleasure. While kings perform this, he strengthens his position and to declare his glory and victory. For the empowerment and glory, every king should perform this Aswamedha festival. It is stipulated like that. So here we have to take, if we take it in a different connotation, that is Aswamedha. If we take it in a different connotation, get altogether another meaning for Aswa. The root Aswa means accumulation and Va means blowing. Altogether, Aswa means obtaining or accumulation of wealth by blowing. So it appears that originally this has been associated with the accumulation of wealth by smelting metals. So Rigvedic people might have used this word in the beginning to describe the smeltery. After all, metals are the basis for every prosperity and wealth. So, Rigveda tells that the furnace, the Aswamedha in the sacrifice, it details and describes the furnace of that ritual. The furnace of this particular sacrifice is to be made of stone, and there were openings in the furnace that were closed during the sacrifice according to the protocol. Descriptions indicate that precise control of the fire was very essential for yajna. Considering the overall level of technology, it would seem totally out of place that such elaborate furnaces were built for opening and closing, and it can be opened and closed as per the requirement. So, the verse 3 of Sadapada Brahmana, it tells that the fire used to be with the beginning became in the beginning white and became red when strong. This is the typical phenomenon in the smeltery. When metals nears the melting points, more air is to be pumped in, and this leads to the fire turning into red. This is a very basic and also essential phenomena for firing. In the later period, the form of yajna appeared to be transformed completely. Being Asva gives the same meaning as horse, and also the important and very useful animal, not of aboriginal species, you know, of course, for the victory over the newly moved area. Vedic people might have been sacrificed this animal as ritual to get wealth and prosperity in the beginning. The elaboration has some significance between rituals described in earlier Rigvedic part, and then the same ritual has been elaborated or described in a very big manner, and Vedic text in the Yajurveda, Sadapada Brahmana, like that, and the later Vedic text. So Rigveda describes a relatively simple ritual in which a horse is sacrificed for the acquisition of wealth, prosperity, and magical powers. But in the later text, it becomes an elaborate and also incorporating fire altar and consisting of many levels of activities spread over many months. It has been started by the Purnima of some winter months, and then it has to be prolonged for 1 year. You know all the Aswamedha sacrifice procedures. The horse will be sent to somewhere, and it has to come and reach the capital without any disturbances or things. So this type of elaborate rituals has been added in the later Vedic period. The ceremony includes fertility rite also, that also you may have known, and the notion of polterch also. This is as much as a declaration of the political ascendancy and social status, definitely. And then the sacrifice described in the Sadapada Brahmana and Ramayana Ramayana is giving a very elaborate method of doing this Aswamedha sacrifice. There so many things were there. It's a very big chapter, and Palaganda of Aswamedha. It describes very elaborately the Aswamedha sacrifice. So these are coming together, many rituals in the diverse origin. They must have taken so many diverse rituals, or so many the behaviors or followings from the so many diverse people, cultural people. So copper smeltery was the characteristic feature of the Chalcolithic period, you know, and must have originally discovered by the Harappans and then incorporated into the Veda as a ritual. This is my connotation. Then another one area, it deals with the Sulpa Sutras. The Sulpa Sutras are the part of Shrauta Sutras, and these are the manuals for the performance of sacrifices. It deals with the specified with the rules for the measurement and construction of the various sacrificing fires and altars. Sulpa means cord or rope or a sting. This root, sulpa, signifies measuring of act of measurements. Measuring or act of measurement. So, Sulbavit is the one who well versed in Sulpa Sutra. These texts involve the constructions of the various sacrificial fire altars and consequently involve the technology of civil engineering. The fire altars are constructed by the burnt bricks with a fixed number of bricks and with a specific area in different layers involves the technology of structural planning and systematic way of construction of bricks, brick building, with a perfect measures. The different sizes of the bricks and its measurements, its placements of different order shows the advanced civil engineering technology along with perfect calculations. The Sulpa Sutras are intended for, though it's a text of very good mathematics, this main purpose of the Sulpa Sutra is, this is intended for the use of priestly Brahmin community, who were the hereditary performers of the various rituals. So, on the basis of the style and grammar of the Sulpa Sutras, there were so many texts are there. In the Shrauda texts, Sulpa Sutras are part of most of the Shrauda text. So the famous is some that is Baudhayana, then Manava, Katyayana, were the very famous Sulpa Sutra texts, and these has been and in the philological basis, it has been decided they belong to 4th century BC, in between 4th century or the 2nd century, like that. So the period in which these texts were composed was a period of using PGW, but the settlements were rural in type. Muds and mud bricks houses, settlement of the Alps structures only found in the many places of this culture. That is Atranjikara, Bhagwanpur, Jakera, all their places. These are the places we are encountering PGW ware. So, the shamanism is a ritualistic belief of the characteristic feature of Vedism, as we all know. So, the technological knowledge which encapsulate in the Sulpa Sutras are not very necessary for them, for doing sacrificial rituals. But acquiring all these knowledges is basic necessity for the professional brick masons, brick makers, and the builders who involved the persons actually engaged in it and also executed all these structural activities. So, Katyayana Sulpa Sutra specifically give the qualifications of the these people, that is one who supervised that. One who fully engrossed in work, one who conversant with the different sides or divisions, one who is well acquainted of the thought of other schools, that is most important. This the word is Parashastra Kudugala. That is the word mentioned in that. That is other than Vedic. Other texts should be known by him. And also, while performing or while constructing this, it explicitly tells the involvement of Silpi, Stapadi, and who conversant with other schools should be made to involve in this. That is there. And also in Ramayana, Balakanda also it again repeated. There it specifies a karmika, a silpakara, a mason, and a digger, and one who conversant with measurement should be make involved. References which give clue to the understanding of the participation of some technologists other than priestly class, isn't it? So, it is to be reminded that the construction of Agnisayana, also a Brahmana, in that we have already seen, in the Agnisayana ritual also, there was a priest without any epithet, just Brahmana. So I am connecting that also with this. And without any specific epithet, find the place of supervising this construction and the chanter of Atharvaveda. That is, it gives a very good clue. So the Brahmana, that Brahmana, without epithet, a simple word Brahmana, might have been baptized from the other Tvija community, and which includes Silpakara and everybody. The Tvija means other than Brahmin, and also not Sudras. So in between people. So this includes Silpakara, Karmi, Vartaga, and everybody. So they have to do this work. The knowledge contained in the Silpasutras of the late Vedic texts must have been obtained from the local technological people who traditionally acquired this knowledge from the Indus legacy and recorded this in the later Vedic texts. This is my elaboration or understanding about these how Indus legacy recorded in the later Rig Vedic as also in the later Vedic texts. So some conclusions, maybe it's rudimentary, but I have suggested this one. So Agnisayana ritual represent the symbolizing the amalgamations of cultures, going back to the shamanism, forms of possible Harappan survivals, and the acceleration of more recent practices, perhaps taken from the aboriginal black and red wear people. Then Aswamedha also would represent the coming together of many rituals of diverse origins, copper smeltery, the characteristic feature of the Chalcolithic period, and must have originally discovered by the Indus people, then incorporated into Veda as ritual. Adaptation of tradition and knowledge is very common in the form of rituals. Even sometimes without understanding the actual meaning of the word by the Vedic pastoral people, while they settled and associated with the other aboriginal cultures. The knowledge contained in Silpasutras of the Vedic text must have been claimed from the local technological people who traditionally acquired this knowledge from the Indus legacy and recorded in the Vedic all the from Rig Veda to later Vedic texts. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Maxia Gandhi, for that fascinating presentation, which can look at insights and perspectives that can be gleaned from texts. I believe we have time for questions, so I'll pass over. Thank you.
Questions? Yes.
I would. So both the presents are really extraordinary, very good presentation, good value addition. I would like to make a comment about the Maxia Gandhi's presentation, all the three aspects. Particularly, I will make a reference only the first one, Agni China ritual. The Agni China ritual being a kind of indicator for the interaction between the PGW and BRW has been dealt by the Romila Thapar, and as you pointed out, converse. Then another scholar which he dealt with this one very elaborately, Fritz Stahl, and he actually did a ritual, repeated this Agni Chena ritual in 1975 in Kerala. So then Fritz Stahl has written an article which is available Gestar, and there the Brahmin which you are talking about, that fourth one, the fourth Brahmin who has not been specifically named, he called him as an ignorant Brahmin. So this is the title of that article. That particular ritual also available in YouTube. It's a very important observation he makes that the guy who deals with that Atharva Veda, if you really look at it, the Rig Vedic people who follow only Rig Veda, they are called as Vedi. Those who go for the Rig Veda and Yajurveda, they are also Divedi and Trivedis and Chadurvedis. And then many scholars have dealt with that when the people move to the tribal areas and the original inhabitants of India, they come back, they come in contact with the rituals and magic and medicine. So that's another Veda. So those who are associated with Atharva Veda, not much respected. So he calls him an ignorant Brahmin who was thoroughly neglected. And then when 1975, Fritz Stahl did that particular specific ritual of with bringing a horse in Kerala, when it was done, you will be surprised to know that today in India, this Agni Chena ritual formally once in a while, it's very expensive, done in only 2 states of India. One is Andhra Pradesh, another is in Kerala. When Stahl did it in Kerala by using the Nambudiri Brahmins, and there was a objection raised by the priest in Andhra, saying that no ritual, that means sacrifice of animal was done in the Kerala ritual, and they made an objection to that. So this is a background, and as things are moving, there are certain remnants and legacy and cultural markers are carried southward by the people who moved from there. And it's a very important input you have brought in, and I was very happy that all these three things, particularly the Agni Chena, which we have studied in detail. Thank you very much.
Thank you for this answer. I have seen already that ritual, it has been recorded in the net. I have seen that. There also so many people other than Brahmins are participating, and they only bring all the necessary things and all. So I was very happy on noting that also. It adds to my, without reading or that is not elaborately reading all these three things. Only Agni Chena was elaborated by Thapar and Thapar and Barrow and so many people. But other two are not so much elaborated or explained or understood by others. So it was my pleasure to present.
Please elaborate. Is there any orientation which you have marked? The body, say, if all these burials in one place, is there any orientation synergy?
So there is no specific orientation.
Okay.
Some are in north-south, some are in east-west, and some are in between.
Okay, thank you.
So my question to Rajesh, Professor Rajesh. So it was really nice finding. So actually, I'm curious about the long burials, which are around 7 meters. Was there any? What is the number of skeleton found? Is it?
Actually, we are not getting much skeletons from there. You have seen, means majority of the skeletons were in damaged condition, and in that, even in that also, means we got in from that 6.9 meter one.
Yeah.
From that we got 3-4 small bone fragments and one mandible portion. That also means only 2 teeth are left. Mandible portion of a what we say cattle.
So not
Probably
sure.
a cattle. Probably cattle, but I am not sure it is a complete cattle or means they just kept some meat or something. We are not sure about that thing.
What about the one which you had shown the partition? It was a
With the partition, the L-shaped one.
not the single one. There was a in between. There was a partition wall.
Yeah, the too long one. There is no partition wall. There is 6.9.
There was one stone in between.
No, actually, there were 2 burials.
Oh, 2 burials.
Yeah, there were 2 different burials in between. That was actually a heap of stone. There were
Oh,
that's area.
okay. Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah.
I would like to thank Dr. Makshya Gandhi about your observation on Ashwamedha Yagna. For so far, we had a different idea about Ashwamedha Yagna, and what you said is a little different from that. And it threw new light on it. But if I may I ask you what your study or findings are based on? Because it is different from what we have learned so far.
Actually,
Because I'm sure you would have heard about the horse involved in it.
as I told in the beginning of my paper itself, my speech itself, I'm not a Sanskrit scholar, basically. I totally depend on translations and the scholars' opinion about these rituals and all only. From that, what I understood with the Harappan culture and the whole the continuation of the cultures from Harappan till today, even till today, that perspective I have. So with that perspective, I approached this subject. That's all. From that only I come.
Thank you.
I have suggested these things. That's all.
Thank you. And what the question I raised before in the morning, the earlier session about the Chola history, I was asked to go back to the origins. I did. I learnt that only from the origins, namely the Malapedi Cheppedigal, the Madras Museum plates of Srikanta, or the Dr. Sevel's list of antiquities, and the Anbil Cheppedigal, and that sort of things. My learning was from that only. And I'm sure, and I'm not sure, I know that ASI based its ARE on those reports only because they had mentioned them in that report. So from that only, I'm saying that. And I sincerely request all the archaeologists again to enlighten or to correct this mistake in Chola history. Archaeologists are not to be blamed. They have given it very clearly about that part of Chola history. Cholas, the Telugu lineage starts from the 6th century, whereas the history taught even in postgraduate colleges nowadays is different. And I think it should be corrected, number one. And the next thing, I know that I'm going to get a lot of opposition or people going to get angry with me, but I want to point this. I had a short discussion with an archaeologist in this section a short while ago. And I find that he's totally biased against Sanskrit and the people who use Sanskrit. And it was shocking to me. I'm a layperson, I'm a doctor. But it was shocking to me see that a professional is so biased against one particular language. Why is that so? And if it is so, how many people are there with such biases? And how is it going to impact or the findings or whatever they are going to give us lay people about what they are seeing? Are we going to get only such a colored opinion from people like you?
Ma'am.
We want facts and the hard facts and nothing more. Thank you. Bye.
Ma'am, please, let's use this forum for productive criticism and comments. I understand you have interests against a certain
I see,
individual.
I'm sure, I'm 100% sure that what criticism I gave is a productive one and a constructive one,
We
and it is
respect
going to
it.
make a lot of difference to the
Yes.
findings or the report you are going to give us.
Yes, ma'am. We respect
Yes.
you. We respect your opinion. Yes, but there's a name, place, and time for it. Yes, the next.
And that's, she made us say, probably she has spoken to somebody. where she felt that he has got a kind of a bias against a specific language. But I can assure you, madam, ma'am, can I listen to you? I assure you that you have the whole mystery, because today you made a presentation made by one of the top scientists in this field. He used the word Saraswati Basin. Okay, did you notice that? Did you notice that? So when it comes to the protecting the interest of the Sanskrit, we have IITs. IIT Gandhinagar started. IIT Mandi has started a course on reincarnation and rebirths. And IIT Kharagpur is coming out with the calendars which talks about history. So when all the top institutions in India and the scientists are busy in protecting the Sanskrit, the poor archaeologists cannot afford to make any damage. So certainly we are very reassured, because it has to be unbiased. We entirely agree, because we have to be in the pursuit of truth and not biased. But that has to be understood everybody in the system. Ultimately, we are searching for truth. We hope that truth prevails.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Any other questions on this session? Or on, yes, we have a student here.
Hi, ma'am. So my question is that, you know how during Indus Valley civilization, there was a bronze girl statue which was made out of lost wax method. So it can be later found in Chola bronze making process. So is there any connection between how Ashwamedha Yaga could have taken the copper smelting or the metal smelting technology to South India or anything like that? Is there any possibility?
From my understanding, from Harappan to till date, I said, isn't it? In between Chola is coming, isn't it? The technology is very, very, very old one. That has been, first references are from Harappan. From that, though we have discontinuation, the technology and the knowledge is continuously, we are inheriting that one. So it must be in Chola period. Wherever the period where the flourishing opportunity is there must be a flourishing technology and also, and materials or objects we can have. So that's one.
So evidence of Ashwamedha Yaga is also found in South India right now?
Something?
References of Ashwamedha Yaga is...
Yeah, we have. In the inscriptions itself, last Rajaraja performed.
Thank you, ma'am.
I have one question for Rajesh, sir. Sir, it's me. I just wanted to know if there were any landscape archaeological studies that were conducted around the area of Chunakhatia in light of these very interesting finds in individual sites.
Yeah, actually, means I mentioned there is a big team working on,
Yes.
and Dr. Francis Conesa, he's actually doing that kind of work.
All right, amazing. We'll be looking forward to those reports of this. Thank you, sir. Yes, so with that, we come to the end of day 2 of the international conference. Thank you, participants and the speakers, for such lively discussions and also productive conversations. I want to make 2 announcements again. One is about the bead maker. Again, he's going to start the process of bead making, a specific process. You can all have a look at it now. You can see him in action again. You can also check out the stalls that we have. And like yesterday, I request the registered participants to kindly hand over your tags. Thank you so much. See you all tomorrow at 9:30 a.m.